It's market day. Just kidding. This market, actually, both of these markets happened like a week and a half ago, and I am just now finally getting around to doing a recap on them. So, for those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Claire. I am a Michigan-based crochet artist. I just got into things this year, and I'm getting on YouTube to share my experience. So, let's start with what these markets were and how I got into them. So, number one, I decided super last minute that I was gonna pick up a couple crochet markets. So, the place that I work in a restaurant, and they take off holiday weekends, which is amazing because I have worked every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Black Friday, every New Year's, forever. And I got into a place that gave us a week of paid vacation over 4th of July. And they took off the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So we were off August 31st. I'm like, well, if I don't have to work Saturday night, I could pick up a last minute market. So I did. Unfortunately, I only took maybe a video and 2 pictures during the entire market, and it was at the first one, which I will include in here. But I'm just gonna break it down and let you know what happened, what I sold, all that good stuff, and then we'll go from there. So, we're testing out some new microphones. So hopefully my audio quality is a little bit better now, because I still film in my basement and my dehumidifier runs all the time, and I don't know if it's good or not. But yeah, so let's hope that this helps. So the first market that I picked up, I literally picked it up the night before, and they said, hey, we're looking for vendors. It's a $10 booth fee. It's at a cat cafe, which for anyone who doesn't know what a cat cafe is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cafe where you go in and you get your coffee or your bubble tea or whatever, and then you go sit in a room filled with cats, which is awesome because it helps out the shelters and people get to interact with the animals, and it socializes the animals and also makes them far more likely to get adopted. So they keep about 30 cats in their cafe. And so we were all outside of the cafe, but they said, you know, $10 booth fee. We all set up under some trees. It was in the shade. I didn't even need my tent, which was great. I get there, I think there were 7 vendors, which I went into both of the markets that I signed up for with basically 0 expectations. Like, I'm like, if I sell enough to cover my booth fee, it's fine. I didn't have anything else going for the day. It gives me more exposure. It's all good. So the cat cafe one was very, very slow. And I pretty much exclusively sold 2 other vendors, which is fine. Made a couple friends. So, August 31st, at this cat cafe, let's go over what I sold. And I had someone comment on one of my last videos and mention that they would love to be able to actually see what it is when I mention what I sold so that they can see an example of it. So I am going to try and leave this space blank and put photos if I have them. If I don't have them, I'm sorry. I will try and do better later. So I did take and put timestamps, and the market ran from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. At 10:30, I made my first sale, and it was one of my bandanas, which I do have photos of, but I don't have the photo of the exact one. So here's a photo of the example bandanas. And actually I have the yarn right here so I can show you the yarn color because I only made one. This is the yarn color, and it made the most beautiful bandana. This is cotton yarn. I don't remember what brand it is. I got this at a craft store in Houghton Lake, Michigan, which is a little further north than I am by a bit, but going out of business, owners are retiring. I got some nice cotton yarns. And I think I've mentioned that now in like 3 or 4 videos, so sorry if I'm being repetitive. Okay. Second sale of the day, which was to the same person, by the way. was one of my chunky cats, which I know I have a photo right here. The one that I sold was, I think, all black, and I think it had just a white tip on its tail. I don't think I got a photo of it, but here's a photo of an example chunky cat. These are the loaf cat pattern, and I will put the creator of that pattern right here because I am blanking on her name. Anyway, the bandana and the chunky cat, they both went to the same person. Bandanas I sell for $12, and the chunky cats I sell for $20. So that was $32 total, both on a card, both had sales tax. So yeah, that was $10.30. My next sale was at $12.06, and it was one of my egg birds. Here's a photo, because I know I have a photo of that. This is my pattern. It is available on my Etsy. It's like $2. The egg birds that I sell them at my markets for $6, and I usually just keep them in like a plushie bin. So it's just a $6 bin, and it's little mini whales, mini stingrays, and my egg birds usually is all I have in that. So they got my egg bird, and it was the last one I had, so those are currently sold out. I will try and restock them before my next market, I think. At $2.17, I sold a chunky mushroom boy. I have photos of those. I know that there's a bunch of patterns for these, but the ones that I do are actually completely freehand. So I've kind of written my own pattern for it, but I haven't published it because I think it would be too close to patterns that are out there, and I am not the person that would take away from other creators. So other people already have mushroom boy patterns out there. I don't think I'm going to publish one. And then at $2.19, I sold a yellow bee and a chicken. The bee is a freehand pattern. I just freehand those. They're pretty easy. And then the chicken is the Oak and Marlowe Mabel the chicken pattern, which I think pretty much everybody uses. And so my bees are $8, my chickens are $12, so that was a $20 purchase. And then at $2.20, I sold another yellow bee for $8 and a pink octo. My octos are $10, and here's a photo of those. And that was it. That was my whole cat cafe market. Was one bandana, one chunky cat, one egg bird, one mushroom boy, 2 bees, a chicken, and an octo. I made a total of $86. My booth fee was $10. And I have received criticism from someone in the comments on my last video about how I detract my gross income versus my net income. I'm just putting it out there. I will break that down however I feel like it, because the inner workings of my business are my business. And I don't weigh my yarn because I'm very, very new in the crochet world, and honestly, I didn't feel like it was that important. I will do that when I get into online pricing, but for craft markets right now, I only signed up for a few for this year, and I just think it is what it is. But what I took home from this market was $86 minus my $10 booth fee, minus $17.50 that I spent on food because your girl does not pack lunches. And then I spent $11 with one vendor, and she had duck eggs from her farm and homemade jam. And $14 at another vendor who had soy wax melts, because I am a sucker for wax melts. So yeah, I didn't really take home a lot from this market, but it was less than 30 minutes or just barely 30 minutes from my house, so it wasn't far. And yeah, that's the cat cafe market. So if the cat cafe market sounds like a win to you, great. For me, I didn't have anything else going on that day. I made my booth fee back. I'm happy with it. Wish it was better, but it's Labor Day weekend. Everyone in Michigan goes up north during Labor Day weekend. So I'm not at all surprised that it was slow. So that was August 31st was the cat cafe. September 1st was, I signed up for a flea market. There was no booth fee. You show up, you set up wherever you want. They've got a big old tent. And this market was also 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And I showed up and it is what it is. I ended up setting up my tent because I was in the sun, and I don't know if you see how ghostly pasty white I am. And this is in September, at the end of the summer. I'm usually paler than this. But yeah, I needed the tent. So I did put the tent up. There were maybe 7 or 8 vendors at this, and they said usually there's a lot more, but it was Labor Day weekend. So a lot of people didn't show up because they knew it was going to be a slow market. The flea market was outside of a bar, but it was 2 miles from my house. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just have a lovely day. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to hang out. And, you know, if I make $50, I make $50. If I make $0, I didn't have a booth fee, it's fine. So, market opened at 10. 10:45, I sold a chunky cat. It was one of my favorite chunky cats. And it went to a girl whose name is Claire, same as me, who also has the same first, middle, and last initials as I do. So I thought that that was hilarious. My chunky cats, photo again, they're $20. And then at noon, I sold a turtle for $20, and here's a photo of that. And then at 2 o'clock, my friend that I work with at the restaurant where I work showed up, and she bought a chunky cat for $20 and a chicken for $12. So that was $32. So yeah, 20, 20, and 32, $72. That's what I made. Fine for a show that's 2 miles from my house that I didn't have to pay booth fee for on probably the slowest weekend of the year. Not a whole lot else to say about that show though. I mean, there was a bread maker, and then there was a jewelry vendor, there was a veggie vendor, and everyone else was like flea market stuff. But yeah, so let's get into the breakdown of like, would I, wouldn't I, am I gonna go again? Was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? The cat cafe, I would totally do again. Totally do again. The market organizer is the sweetest human. Love her. She did a great job. She's also a vendor. And they put something on like every 2 weeks. The only problem is that they do it on Saturdays, and a lot of times I have to go into work at 3:45. Well, the show doesn't end until 3, and it's a half an hour from my house. I can't get packed up that fast. So I would either have to have permission to pack up early, or I would have to go into work late. So I think that if I do one of those shows again, I'd have to be like a last minute sign up, which is fine. They said that that's totally fine. Like, I got in the night before, and they have no other crochet artists. So I would totally do that show again. The flea market one, I don't think I'd do it again, even though it was super convenient because it was so close to my house. I just don't think I'd do it again because crochet is not the vibe when people are going to a flea market, you know? It's just not the place for it. And feel free to disagree with me in the comments. You know, your opinion is your opinion on that, but I just don't. People weren't even walking near my booth because no one cared about it, because they were coming to look for veggies, bread, and other people's flea market items. That's it. Nobody was looking for gifts, for plushies, for any of that. So I just don't think it was my vibe. So yeah, the cat cafe would do again. The flea market, probably not. But overall, for 2 markets that I picked up super last minute on a weekend, I made like $150. I wasn't really out anything. We'll call it a win. My next show is coming up in a week and a half. So I am market prepping and I will have more content out to you guys soon, but I hope that some of this helped at least bridge the gap, if nothing else. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at the cat cafe, after the show was done, they let me go in and hang out with all the cats. So as a cat lover myself, whose cat is currently laying on the floor in my craft room, I had the time of my life for free, which was awesome. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. Sorry it couldn't be more. So yeah, now if I don't have photos of anything, I guess I'm gonna take all the photos so that I can put them in the video that you just watched. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, if you wanna watch my next market recap video, which will be much better because now I have a tripod and stuff to take with me, and I will be filming more of my show and hopefully doing a better recap in better lighting, not at 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. If you liked this video, please go ahead and hit the like button and maybe subscribe. That'd be great. I'm at the point of putting this video out. I think I'm at 398 subscribers. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I would love for you to be a part of that. Come hang out, come listen to me babble on about my shows, and you know, we'll just sit and crochet and enjoy this community together. So yeah, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and it's 11 o'clock at night, so I'm probably gonna go to bed. All right, bye.